All right, let's dive in. Today, we are building a strategic toolkit for innovation. We're going to move past those messy, unstructured brainstorming sessions and get into a world of really effective, high-impact problem solving.
Seriously, have you ever left a brainstorming meeting and just thought, well, that was a complete waste of an hour? I think we've all been there, right? You get a room full of loud voices, ideas all over the place, and absolutely nothing you can actually use. That exact frustration is what this toolkit is designed to fix.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start by talking about how to organize all that idea chaos. Then we'll get into structuring group sessions, reframing the actual problem you're trying to solve, innovating products systematically, and finally, the most important part, how to pick the right tool for the job.
Look, the goal here isn't just to get more ideas, it's to get better ideas. And you get there through a strategic process. We're officially replacing that old throw everything at the wall and see what sticks method with proven techniques that actually guide you from a problem to a truly innovative solution.
Okay, first things first. What do you do when you're absolutely drowning in information? I'm talking about piles of customer feedback, notes from user interviews, or just a massive brain dump from a team meeting. This is where our first set of tools comes in handy.
Let's kick things off with the Affinity Diagram. Now, the real magic of this method is that you don't start with any preconceived categories. You just take all your raw data points, every single idea, every comment, and you start grouping the things that just feel like they belong together. This lets the hidden themes and patterns bubble up to the surface all on their own.
So when do you actually pull this out of the toolkit? Well, it's perfect after a big user research project, when you're just staring at a mountain of interview notes. It's also the ideal next step after one of those free-for-all brainstorms to find the signal in all the noise. It literally turns a mess into real, actionable insights.
Let's make this real. Imagine a UX team has over 300 different customer comments. Total chaos, right? By using an affinity diagram, they can start sorting that feedback into clear buckets. And suddenly, it's not 300 separate issues anymore. It's 3 major themes, like navigation issues, slow performance, and payment problems. And just like that, they know exactly what to prioritize on their product roadmap. That is clarity from chaos. Okay, so we know how to organize ideas, but how do we generate better ones to begin with, especially when you've got a whole group of people? The answer is structure. These next techniques are designed to stop groupthink in its tracks and make sure the best ideas rise to the top, not just the ones from the loudest person in the room.
First up is the Nominal Group Technique, or NGT. This is an absolute game changer for getting fair participation. Here's how it works. Everyone starts by silently writing down their own ideas. This step is so critical because it gives the introverts and the deep thinkers a real equal voice. Then, you go around the room sharing one idea at a time. And finally, you vote anonymously. It's basically a democratic engine for making decisions.
Now check this out. Look at how quickly NGT gives you a clear consensus. After everyone silently generated and then shared their ideas on how to improve the office internet, the anonymous vote immediately shows what the group actually thinks is most important. Upgrade bandwidth is the clear winner here. A visual result like this makes the next steps obvious, and you know the whole group is behind it.
And hey, quick sidebar. It's important not to confuse NGT with the Delphi method. They sound similar, but they're for different situations. You use NGT when you've got a group together, in person or virtual, that needs to make a decision right now. You use the Delphi method when you need to get forecasts from a bunch of anonymous experts who are all remote, usually over several rounds.
Now, what if you're just looking for a massive number of ideas fast? You gotta try 6-3-5 brainwriting. The structure is brilliant in its simplicity. You get 6 people. They each write down 3 ideas in 5 minutes. Then you pass the paper to the person next to you. In the next 5 minutes, you build on the ideas you just received. You repeat this a few times, and get this, you end up with 108 ideas in just half an hour. It's an absolute creativity factory.
And finally, for looking at an idea from every possible angle, we have the 6 thinking hats. The genius here is that it forces the entire group to wear the same hat or adopt the same perspective at the same time. You're all looking at the facts together. Then you all look at the risks together. This completely avoids that classic problem where one person is the permanent naysayer and another is always the cheerleader. It ensures a full 360-degree evaluation without personal bias getting in the way.
So, we can generate ideas, we can organize them, but what if we're solving the wrong problem? There's nothing more wasteful than coming up with a brilliant solution for an issue that doesn't really matter. This next set of tools is all about challenging your assumptions and making sure you're getting to the real root cause, not just treating the symptoms.
Okay, this next one, reverse brainstorming, is beautifully counterintuitive. If you're stuck on how to solve a problem, just flip it on its head. Instead of asking, how do we improve customer satisfaction, you ask, how could we make our customers absolutely furious? The answers you come up with will shine a giant spotlight on your biggest weaknesses, and when you reverse those answers, they point you directly to the most powerful solutions.
This is a perfect example. A logistics company wants to get packages delivered on time, so they ask the reverse. How could we guarantee that every delivery is late? The answers are pretty obvious, right? Lose packages, create terrible routes, delay loading the trucks. By simply flipping those negatives, they identify their most important strategic projects, implementing real-time tracking and investing in better route optimization software. It's brilliant.
Another fantastic tool for digging deep is the 5 whys. And it's as simple as it sounds. You just state the problem, and then like a curious kid, you keep asking why until you can't go any deeper. In this example, deliveries are delayed isn't the real problem. As you drill down, why, you find the true root cause. The company doesn't have a good demand forecasting model. You can't fix a forecasting problem by just telling your drivers to go faster.
All right, now that we know how to find the right problem to solve, let's look at a few frameworks for systematically making your existing products and services even better. This is all about being deliberate with innovation, instead of just sitting around waiting for a random stroke of genius to hit. Scamper is basically an innovation checklist. It's an acronym that gives you 7 different creative prompts to apply to your product. Think about what Eliminate could do. It might drive down costs or make something easier to use. Or Combine. That could create a whole new product category. Nike's Fly Ease technology is a perfect example of Eliminate. They got rid of traditional laces and in doing so created a revolutionary shoe that was way more accessible for everyone. Attribute listing is another one of these really methodical approaches. You essentially deconstruct a product into all of its basic parts. So instead of trying to innovate the whole car at once, you focus on improving each individual piece, one by one. This makes the huge task of innovation feel much more targeted and, frankly, a lot more manageable. Look at how powerful this is for something complex like a car. You break it down: the engine, the seats, the safety system, the dashboard. Then you brainstorm improvements for each of those attributes completely independently. This systematic process leads to concrete innovations like hybrid engines, ventilated seats, and advanced driver assistance systems. Each of those is a major project, born from this simple, structured method. So we've covered a ton of ground, but here's the most crucial takeaway. Just having these tools isn't enough. The real mastery, the real art, is knowing exactly which tool to pull out of your toolkit for the specific challenge you're facing at that moment. So let's wrap this up with a quick summary. If you're buried in messy data, use an Affinity Diagram. If you need a productive group session, pick NGT for making a decision or 635 for generating tons of ideas. Think you're solving the wrong problem? Use reverse brainstorming or the 5 whys. And for improving existing products, Scamper and attribute listing are your best friends. And hey, if you need truly radical ideas, you can even explore advanced techniques like the Gordon method or forced relationships, which are all about sparking creativity in unexpected ways.
Look, this isn't just a bunch of theory. This is a practical set of instruments for building what's next. The next time you're up against a complex challenge, you won't be starting with a blank page. You'll be starting with a strategic toolkit. So the only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?